So today is day 6 of the 25 days of rebuilds, and today's challenge is the oldest team in MLB. That's right, I've gathered 26 of the oldest players in MLB, and we've thrown them onto a squad, and we're gonna win a World Series with them. At least that's the challenge. And I mean, it's gonna be pretty difficult because just based off of the ages alone, and look at that. Got some guys over the age of 40, which, I mean, in professional sports is pretty impressive. So without any further ado, let's go build this squad. Let me show you what we're working with, and let's go see how they do. Before we get any further into it, let's talk about where we rank as a team. Currently 25th, not a single category in the top half of baseball. So let's talk about this pitching staff. So 2 players that I've added as extra guys for the 28-man roster in September are Ian Kennedy, who recently announced his retirement after he won a World Series with the Rangers at 38 years old. He's in the team. And then I needed a position player, and it's gonna be Carlos Santana, who's 36 years old, actually 37 in real life. It was actually a tie between him and Jose Abreu, and the reason I went with Carlos Santana was because he's actually a little bit older than Jose. I said that like I was on a first name basis with him. I'm not. All right, so the youngest of the bullpen is going to be Daniel Bard at 37 years old, at least 37 in the game. Most of these guys are probably a year older by now just because we are in December and these ages are from the beginning of the year. But Daniel Bard, 37, 74 years old. Honestly, attributes wise, doesn't look too bad. Next up, David Robertson, 37 years old. Again, attributes wise, doesn't look good, but I already know it's not going to look like that at the end of the year. The next 2 guys are going to be 38-year-old in Mark Melancon and Cesar Valdez. Oof. I mean, they kind of look the same attribute-wise, kind of looking at it. Like a little bit more clutch for Melancon and control, but those per 9s are looking pretty scary. Joe Smith is going to make an appearance because technically he's still a free agent. He hasn't announced his retirement just yet. So at 39 years old, 60 overall, he's going to be holding it down in the bullpen. Jesse Chavez, who I feel like has been in the league for forever with the Braves still. Honestly, per 9s, he might be like our 3rd best reliever. Honestly, looking at that, he might be pretty good. And the guy who might play for every single team before he retires, Rich Hill, 43 years old, 44 now in real life. I mean, you know what? I can't fault it. He's got to be in the team. And he's actually the oldest player in the team too. So good for Rich Hill. Next up, we've got the baby of the rotation in Max Scherzer, who I think is actually our 2nd highest player in the team. Yeah, I double checked. He is the 2nd highest player. Next up, we've got Charlie Morton, 79 overall. Looks decent. Like the walks are a little low. I'm a little worried about the rest of the season, but right now at the start, he might be okay. Another 39-year-old, we've got Zach Greinke, who technically still hasn't retired, but he also says he hasn't like fully made his decision on if he's coming back next year. And if he is coming back next year, I believe he said he's coming back with the Royals. So we'll see, but he's on the squad. The highest rated player in the entire team, Justin Verlander at 40 years old. So we've at least got him. We've got 190 in the team. And then Adam Wainwright rounds it all off at the end of the rotation, or at least just the oldest of the rotation at 41. The 2 oldest catchers that I could find that were in the game and still playing were Yan Gomes and Martin Maldonado. So there's that. Probably Yan Gomes is starting based off those attributes. At first base, we've got Yuli Gurriel of the Marlins, who realistically isn't going to be playing over the other 2. And those 2 are going to be recently retired Miggy at 39 years old. We'll definitely get him some ABs versus those lefties. And Joey Votto, who was recently released by the Reds. I thought 100% he was a Red until the day he retired. But you know what? Joey Votto's in the team. Robinson Cano. Yeah, he's in the team. I think he's playing in the Dubai League. Is that what it is? Yes, it's called Baseball United. I had to double check it. It's a baseball league in the Middle East and South Asia. They have like Pablo Sandoval, Cano, Andrelton Simmons, Bartolo Colon's pitching in it. They brought a couple older MLB guys in. They're bringing in some other players. So yeah, a baseball league in Dubai. Robinson Cano, he's there. At 3rd base, we've got Matt Carpenter, which, you know what, as a utility guy, might be pretty useful with the team. Josh Donaldson, he's here as well. We got a little bit of pop with that. Evan Longoria, and to round it all up at 3rd base, Justin Turner, who again might be one of the better players in the team. At shortstop, we've got B. Cross, so he's the only shortstop. He's the only shortstop we have. Everybody else was under the age of like 34, I think, that actually was still in the league. So yeah, B. Crow's our only shortstop. And then we only have 3 actual outfielders, and like actual outfielders is stretching it a little bit. We've got McCutchen at 36 years old here. Like, he's like probably still the most athletic of the group. We got Charlie Blackmon. He's in the team. And finally, the last outfielder that we have within the team is going to be someone who recently retired and just signed as an advisor with the Dodgers, Nelson Cruz. There we go. That's the team as a whole. So looking at the team as a whole, offensively, this is what we have here. 2 players in the 80s, a couple in the 70s, a bunch in the 60s. It's not looking great. It's not looking great. I'm really worried that we might not even have a player in the 70s by the end of the season. I'm afraid a lot of these guys are going to drop into the 60s. And if we just quickly look at the age for some of these players, this one I signed out of free agency just to get rid of some of the actual Royals players who are all currently hanging out in free agency, waiting for a call from a different team. So there's that. But yeah, when you look at the age of the team, 43, 42, 41, I guess we could sort it like this. We've got 43, 42, 41, 40, 40, 39s, 38s, 37, and the youngest player, 35 years old, Yan Gomes at the catcher spot. So let's see how season 1 goes. At the deadline, it's not looking great. 47 and 60. We're currently the last team in all of baseball, and I don't even think we're going to be close to the wild card. So let's take a peek. We're not the worst team in baseball, but we're pretty close to it. We'll take a quick peek and kind of see the ratings for everybody. Verlander started at a 90. He's already down to a 79. Scherzer's down to a 78. Oh, man, 52. So Joe Smith has gone down 8 ratings, and you can kind of see we are in some trouble. I don't think this team can win anything, to be honest. I don't even think this team could make it to a postseason. Yuli's under 60. We've got 60, 60, 71, 65 for Matt Carpenter. Not even close to an 80 overall anymore, except for Yan Gomes is 78. Did he go? Okay, he held his rating. I was going to say, did he go up? That would have been impressive. He's the only one that's like kind of holding his rating. I think everybody else is going down. Yan Gomes, the only player to hold their rating. That's pretty impressive. I don't think any of the pitchers are holding their rating either. Yan Gomes, the sole man to hold his rating throughout the season. He is the youngest also, so that I guess he is the fountain of youth in this squad. So let's finish off the season. Let's see how they do. Alrighty, so the season's over. Haven't shown you the record yet. I don't even know. I accidentally went autopilot and skipped through it. We finished 68 and 94. Was that the worst in all of baseball? The Athletics were worse than us. What about the Nationals? They were by 1 game. We also tied the Mets and a little bit worse than a couple other teams in the league. I mean, understandable, right? Let's take a peek where we ranked. We are the worst for batting average. We are the 2nd worst for runs. The Rockies were actually worse than us, which is surprising. It's actually surprising. And if we take a look at ERA, where we're the worst pitching team in all of baseball, we were not. We were the 21st in all of baseball. Hey, that's a small win. No awards, but as you can see, Mike Trout was MVP along with Ronald Acuna Jr., who hit 50 home runs. Strider and Garrett Cole were the Cy Young winners. And looking at the rest, yeah, Josh Naylor probably hit 327 because he had to face our pitchers every single game. And looking at the rest of the league, Corbin Carroll is your rookie of the year along with Edward Julian. Okay, let's take a peek at this team. All right, so Jesse Chavez, 43 innings, was actually really good. I'm actually pretty impressed by what he put up with the squad. 69 overall, nice, and actually a pretty good season. Next up, David Robertson. Woohoo! Talk about a year. Sub-3 ERA. Definitely will take that as our closer. Cesar Valdez had a 4.2 ERA. We got Daniel Bard with a 3.35 ERA. Again, pretty impressive. Again, 69 overall. Rich Hill. There we go. 157 innings pitched, which is actually the most since 2021. Okay, so there's that. But prior to that, what? 195 in 2007? Okay. 4.5 ERA. I mean, at 44 years old. There you go. Charlie Morton, 5.6 ERA. Not what you want to see. 4.7 from Adam Wainwright. We've got a 4.5 from Scherzer. I actually expected better from Scherzer, so that's a little disappointing there. Zach Greinke, 3.5 ERA is pretty impressive. I actually thought he was going to get absolutely shelled. And when you see -10, -10, -9, -7, -7, -9, you're expecting bad things. But power to him, he did really well. Verlander had a 3.36 ERA and also pitched 211 innings. So yeah, pretty impressed there. All right, so we have Miggy, Robinson Cano, Matt Carpenter, Brandon Crawford, and Yuli Gurriel. Who else? Who else is retired? Ian Kennedy, Martin Maldonado, Melanson, and Joe Smith, Cesar Valdez as well have all retired from our team. So there is that. We've got 2 players in the Hall of Fame. Robinson Cano probably not, but you know, here we go. This is the actual rebuild. So we've seen the team, we've seen how we done. What I want to do here is on Reddit, I found something that says that the oldest team to ever win a World Series had the average age of 32.4. Essentially, we'll round it up, we'll say 33. Essentially, what I want to do is I want to have every single player 33 and older on the roster and see if we can win a World Series with this team. So I'm going to go through exclusive negotiations. I'm not really going to show you who I'm targeting or anything like that. If I can keep a player that I think is going to look good, great. Also, budget wise, we actually have some money. That's good. I might also see if I can just trade away a couple players that I don't want. And if I trade away a couple players, it's going to be for someone that's 33 and older or someone that's really, really bad. So let me see if I can find some trades first, and then we'll go from there. All right, so looking at it, there's a lot more players over the age of 30. I guess we are a year older, so, or a year into the future. So there are some guys that I could target, like Clayton Kershaw would be perfect. He actually just missed out on being part of the team originally. So I'm looking at it. Let's see what we've got going on here. I'm also trying to think of like players that I could target that are realistic with the players that I have on my team. So who could I get? JD Martinez is about to be a free agent, most likely. So I'm trying to see maybe someone like a little bit lower rated that like I might be like, ooh, he's kind of sneaky good, who might help us out. Kyle Farmer. I also just want to be able to spend money. So I guess let's see what players I could sign first, and then I'll make the trades. But exclusive negotiations, let's see, is there anybody that's like not regressing like crazy that could potentially help me out? No. There's that. So I think I'm gonna let everybody go. Right, I'm trading Charlie Morton for Andrew Chafin, so I get a new reliever. I feel like relievers are gonna be pretty easy to come by, but starters might be a little difficult. All right, I'm gonna pick up Anthony DeSclafani for Justin Verlander. Again, it's just because he's super old, and he's gonna regress. So there's a pitcher that I can get. I can actually get him through a trade. All right, I didn't want to have to trade all 3 of these guys, but yeah, I'm getting Zach Wheeler. So it's an upgrade, I guess. So after those moves, I currently look like this. I've got Yan Gomes. That's it. I've got Yan Gomes, and then pitching, I've got DeSclafani, Zach Wheeler, and Andrew Chafin. We're looking good. I'm short on a shortstop, so I got to trade for John Birdie. My options aren't great, so there's that. Yeah, I'll even show you what my options were because they were atrocious. We got Birdie, we have Aledmys Diaz, and then yeah, so there's that. I guess I could have checked to see like shortstop secondary, so like Kyle Farmer. Okay, we're getting a little bit better. What about I can't get either of Altuve or Semien. So there's that. Solano can play short, no chance. No. Chris Taylor, no. Yeah, I mean John Birdie's probably the best that we can do, and with that being in mind, that means Taylor Motter can get sent down to AAA. I'm still thinking about how I want to adjust the squad. Everybody on the MLB roster is over the age of 33, as you can see. Everybody is 33 and older, actually. So like I probably could have gone and gotten like a 32-year-old, a 30-year-old, thrown them into the team. The average age still would have been good enough, but I felt like, you know what, let's just go 33 and over. It's gonna make it easier, and there we go. There we are. The pitching looks bad. It does, and I'm afraid it's gonna be real bad. Like, yes, we've got Wheeler, Kershaw, DeSclafani's okay, Mike Clevinger, you know, and honest, the options that I had, it was like Mike Clevinger, Michael Wacha was 32, couldn't get him, James Paxton, Danny Duffy, Robbie Erlin. Like, those were the options that I have that were above the age of 33. The only other like starter that I could get was Matthew Boyd. That was really it. Everybody else was a reliever or Colin Ree. So there's that. So like I literally had to sign Clevenger because I couldn't get anybody else. Either way, the bullpen's looking okay. I don't feel great about it. I also don't feel great about this at all. This is something. Again, not a lot to choose from. 33 and older. That one were holding their rating, or at least if they were decreasing in rating, it wasn't substantial. Like it was like maybe 1 or 2 overall. It wasn't anything crazy. Everybody was like -7, -6, -4, and I'm like, holy cow, you're gonna be at 12 overall by the end of the season. So yeah, this is what we got going on versus lefties. You know, these guys come in because that's what they hit well, and we'll go from there. I've got a couple others in AAA. I think actually most of these guys are over the age of 33. So yeah, the whole AAA team is over the age of 33. So there's that. I do have backups if need be. It may not be the best of backup, but we've got it in the team. So we'll see how things go. I don't feel great about this, but who knows? I'll even show you the pitchers that like were available for me. Duffy, Paxton, Greinke, Archer, Odorizzi. Like you can kind of see slim pickings. Catchers, yeah. First baseman, I could have brought Santana or Votto back. There's that. We've got Elvis Andrews. We've got Josh Donaldson. Shortstop, there isn't one. And like I said, there really wasn't one I could get. That was that thin at that position. AJ Pollock, Billy Hamilton, McCutcheon, Blackman. Like you can kind of see the players that like were available in my range. So for me to be able to do what I did, kind of impressed by that. I was in free agency because I was picking up some guys to fill out the AAA roster and AA roster. So once we get through this, let's see how the season goes. We won the division 89 and 73. Pretty impressive that we won the division. I'm assuming some players have kind of fallen down in rating. Let me adjust it. We'll look through the awards. Team ranking wise, we were 3rd in batting average, which is pretty impressive because we had some pretty bad batting averages. We were top 10 for offenses in terms of runs, which is pretty cool. Home runs, where were we? 8th. We were a top 10 for home run team, for home run hitters as well. ERA, top 5. Ooh, okay. League leaders, John Birdie with stolen bases, and then awards. No awards. Cody Bellinger signed with the Athletics. Okay, Shohei went to the Dodgers. What a surprise. I'm trying to see if there was like any changes, any like interesting moves that would have happened. Shanuel won the batting title. Okay. And Edwin Diaz brother Alexis won reliever of the year. We got Class A for reliever of the year, and then Shanuel won rookie of the year along with John Gary, a generational talent for the Dodgers. Okay. All right. Pitching wise, this is what we've got going on here. We'll go player stats. I kind of like this page. It looks kind of cool. So let's see here. We'll go down here for the bullpen. I did have to change some things up because players were kind of dropping in rating and everything like that. So we got Liam Hendricks here, who wasn't great, but at least as a setup guy, he held it down a little bit. He was okay. We might have to move some names around, but he was all right. Can't complain. Blake Trinan as our closer was pretty solid, 3 ERA. Chafin was good, one of our first acquisitions. Not too bad. We've got a Will Smith with a 4 ERA, Colin Ree with a 3.5 ERA, then Alex Wood 4.3 is not bad. You know, getting into the starters now. Stratton. Oh wait, what are we sorted by? Wins. We're sorted by wins. Okay, we should probably do it by innings pitched. Who have we missed here? We have missed nobody. Okay, so Stratton, 3.7 ERA was pretty good. Clevenger, 3.3 ERA, pretty solid season with a 1-2 whip. Desclafani was fantastic. Glad we picked him up. And then Kershaw with a sub-3 ERA, 210 innings. And then our ace, Zach Wheeler, 3.3 ERA. Love to see it with a 1 whip. All right, so for position players, we'll sort by at bats. You can see Solano got called up later on, didn't really get a chance to show off anything. Tommy Pham had 8 at bats, 4 of them being hits and a walk. So you know what? Not too bad. Michael Taylor was pretty bad. Garrett Cooper only faced lefties, took advantage of it. Love to see it. Yan Gomes, not as good, but half the appearances. So there's that. Michael Brantley had just shy of 450 at-bats, had a 312 average with an 818 OPS. Yeah, I'm happy about that. Trace Thompson only faced righties, hit 30 home runs. Pretty good. Pretty good for sure. Kiermaier was pretty trash. Can't even sugarcoat that one. Mitch Garver was good. Got him into the team. Signed him on a 2-year deal. But you know what? 28 home runs and a 300 average. Amazing. Duvall, 30 home runs. 800 OPS-ish. You know what? I'll take 30 home runs with that. Okay, Evan Longoria, 26 home runs, 284 average, 346 on base percentage. I like to see that. Colton Wong had a pretty decent season. I'll take that from Colton Wong all day. And then JD Martinez was pretty bad. Yeah, he was pretty atrocious. And then this guy right here, I was worried that this guy was going to be bad, and he was low-key insane. 60 stolen bases almost, 300 average, 343 on base percentage. This guy was crazy. John Birdie, are you serious? But that's the team. I'm pretty sure I've got all the lineup set for the postseason. We're ready to go. We'll be taking on the Guardians. We'll see if they've quickly made any changes to their team. And they have brought in Freddie Fermin, who was a free agent. So there's that. Outside of that, Oswald Peraza, sorry. And pitching wise, it looks that's the Guardians. All right. Zach Wheeler, game 1. We win that one, and Desclafani wins. We're gonna be taking on the Astros here, which I have a feeling is gonna be a pretty tough matchup. Like, I don't think we beat this team. I just don't. The pitching's too good, their offense is too good, and like compared to our squad, it's just not good enough. It just isn't. Like, we'll go like that. Kershaw, Desclafani. We'll see how we do. Like, when Zach Wheeler's not pitching his best, and he's our ace and easily our best pitcher, we're in trouble. Alrighty, Clevenger. We win 5-1. Wheeler, I need you to be better. I need you to be better, man. It comes down to Alex Wood, and we win 3-1 somehow. I'm going to keep the rotation as is. Do I actually? You know what? Wheeler's been struggling a little bit. I might go, I might just flip those two and keep it as is. We're taking on the Rays now. So are we taking on? That was the Rays, right? That I saw. Again, this is a tough matchup for us. Like, offensively, the top half of their lineup's crazy. Their pitching's really good. And yeah, so we got Clevenger on the mound. He had a good outing, but against Shane McClanahan, he's got to be on his A game. So here we go, Clevenger. 1-0 is tough. That's super tough. That's a tough loss. 3-0 the next game. 6-4. 4-3. Alex Wood loses. Clevenger for the revenge. Kershaw. Okay. Against the Cardinals, let's take a peek. What do we got going against us? I'm surprised we're scraping out these wins. Again, really good team. A lot of power in this lineup. And pitching-wise, Sonny Gray, for once, we might actually have a better pitching staff than a team. And it's in the World Series. Do I want... Okay, so Wheeler's game 1. Maybe Alex Wood moves up a spot? No. Wheeler, maybe Clevenger, Kershaw, Wood, Desclafani. I think that's how we do for the World Series. Alrighty, here we go. Wheeler, we lose, we win. Clevenger's having a postseason, man. Kershaw wins, Alex Wood loses. Desclafani wins. It's down to Zach Wheeler, and we win 9-3. World Series in the bag with the old man team. Garrett Cooper, World Series MVP. Kevin Kiermaier, playoff MVP. Garrett Cooper, have a World Series. Kevin Kiermaier was good. JD Martinez had 6 home runs and 15 RBIs. Probably his only hits based off his average. Was our offense that bad? Pitching-wise, Wheeler turned it around towards the end. Clevenger was fantastic. Kershaw was fantastic. So was Wood. And so was actually the whole starting 3. They got the job done. Colin was good in the bullpen. Stratton struggled a little bit, but I mean, one bad outing is going to ruin their stat line for the postseason, which I'm assuming every bullpen arm had a bad outing at least. And then looking at the offense, you can kind of see, yeah, we struggled offensively for sure. And it makes sense, but that's where it's going to end. I hope you enjoyed the old man rebuild. If you did, thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoyed the content. And of course, in the comment section, let me know what video you would like to see next. If you're looking for some more rebuild content, check out the video on screen now. I rebuild every team that Shohei Ohtani is currently rumored to. We'll see which team's the best. Get you in the next one. Peace.